Hello, today I have a book review for you of In a Summer Season by Elizabeth Taylor, first published in 1961. My edition is a beautiful Virago modern classic edition with cover illustration by Sarah Maycock. My edition has 259 pages. So this book is about a woman called Kate. Kate has two children. She has Louisa, who's 16 and is still at school, and she has Tom, who is 22. Now, Kate is married. She has been married previously, and that's where her children come from. He is now dead, and she's married a man called Dermot. Dermot is 10 years her junior, and he is flirtatious, he's frivolous, he's very good looking and charming, but her friends and family weren't jumping for joy at them getting married. And this book is kind of like a slow plod. It's just generally about their marriage at the beginning of the book, but then we have Charles come into it. Now, Charles is an old friend, and he comes back to the village to see his daughter Minty. Now, Tom, Kate's son, is interested in Minty. There's kind of like a sort of love interest there, sort of friendship. Read the book and you'll see. And with Charles coming back into Kate's sphere, Kate kind of questions her relationship with Dermot, and she's starting to think, is it right? Now, this is my second Elizabeth Taylor book. The first one that I read was Angel, and I read that a few months ago, and I hated it because I hated the character of Angel. But there was something in that book that said to me, don't give up on Elizabeth Taylor, because there's going to be one out there that you're really going to enjoy, because the writing was so good. And I'm so glad that I picked up another one, because it is so good. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Now, this book is quite slow. It kind of plods on, but I love those types of books. This book is very much mid-20th century. We have two settings. We have a setting in London and we have a setting in the country. We have women's kind of like day-to-day hubbub of life. We have women's relationships, women's friendships, and it's all about that, and I really enjoy that. It's kind of like little subplots. However, the last 20 pages really like kicks up some gears, and something big happens that I won't talk about, but the pacing is really slow, and then suddenly whoosh, and it's lovely. It's really, really good. What sells this book is the writing. Elizabeth Taylor's writing is magnificent. It is feminine wit and feminine charm. It's very funny. I didn't expect it to be funny, but it is quite funny. You know, she's talked about something really mundane, and then she'll put quite a witticism to it, and I'm like, oh, I really like that. That was good. That was some sass. It's quite a sassy book. I just loved it. The writing is lovely. It's very much along the lines of kind of like a funnier, not funnier, but more a sassy Barbara Pym. Stick some sass on some Barbara Pym and you've got Elizabeth Taylor. What am I going on about? As I said, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. And do you know what? I'm kind of a bit annoyed at myself that I haven't got to Elizabeth Taylor sooner. I don't know why I've been put off, because I know that this is Elizabeth Taylor, the author, not Elizabeth Taylor, the actress. That's a different Elizabeth Taylor. But now that I've read this, I want to read all her works. And for me, Elizabeth Taylor now sits up there with the 20th century women authors that I just love, that write, you know, women's fiction of their time. So my Barbara Pym, Angela Thirkell, Nancy Mitford, Molly Keane, Elizabeth Taylor now sits up there with them. The legends of 20th century women's fiction. Ooh! Yeah, it's really good. If you are a fan of any of those authors that I said, you will enjoy this, because it is very good, and the ending is just spot on. You know when you have an ending of a book and it rounds up perfectly, so if you were to like stop just before the end, you know, when it's rounding everything up, and you were to write it how you would want it to end, I would write how Elizabeth Taylor wrote it. Obviously not as well, because I can't write for toffee, but that's what I wanted to happen, happened. And it was great. So if you want to get your hands on a copy of this book and read it for yourself and just love it yourself, I will leave a link for you in the description bar below. So that's it for this video. In the comment section, please chat to me all things Elizabeth Taylor. I'd love to know if you've read any of her works before. Am I just a bit slow on the uptake? So take care, and I shall see you soon for the next video. Bye for now.